So, you know, I was at Emory University for 30 years and involved in academia, very liberal to start out, and you know, the first premise is that, you know, for a long time, conservatives have been introduced and trounced roundly in higher ed. So we have to try to do different things, lots of different things. I'm just going to lay out one thing that I think we can do that is easy. It's simple. It doesn't require a lot of manpower, 2 or 3 people. It doesn't cost anything to do. And it is politically beneficial for the leader who makes this happen. And I'll just give you an illustration. In December 2022, I got a call from someone in Governor DeSantis' office asking if I would like to be a trustee at this new college of Florida. Small honors college in the Florida system, tiny, you know, less than 700 students. And I'd done some work for ELA standards and civic standards for Florida. I liked Governor DeSantis' vision of education. I said immediately I agreed. Yes, and a few other people were asked, Chris Rufo, Charles Kessler, Ryan Anderson a little later on, Matthew Spalding at Hillsdale. And in the intervening weeks before we assembled for the first time, the academic community got wind of this, the media got wind of this, they all went ape. And a narrative had congealed by the time we met at the end of July for the first board meeting in Sarasota. The narrative was conservative vandals descend to ruin a liberal arts gem. And so we showed up for the first meeting. About 500 people were outside with bullhorns and placards, you know, go home fascists, the whole thing. Inside, the meetings are public. And so you had about 200 students, faculty, parents, activists, several lining up for the public comment that went on for about an hour and a half of denunciation of us. We had universal faculty hostility and administrators as well. Again, all the media. Here's how far it extended. Ms. Magazine ran a series of testimonials from victims of our villainy to come. Vanity Fair did a piece. The Times did 4 pieces. The Post did 3. LA Times, USA Today, on and on. Apart from the local Florida, the Chronicle of Higher Ed, you can imagine, inside higher ed. As well, and they're in the meeting, and it was a circus. It was crazy. The new trustees come. There were some older trustees there. The existing president, she got up and gave an impassioned speech there on the dais with us about we're turning things around. New College is doing wonderful. We're an experimental college. You've got to respect what we do here. And the students were all cheering. She was getting emotional. She was a nice person. A former English professor from Missouri, and tearing up a little bit, and she said, I have one final thing to say. I love new college students. They all erupted in cheers. She turned to us and we said, you're fired. We fired the general counsel. The provost was gone in a week. We canceled all DEI activities closed the office, no more diversity statements there. Later, in subsequent meetings, 5 professors came up for early tenure with 100% faculty support. No, on all of them. We shut down the gender studies concentration. It was pretty funny. The faculty representative on the board of trustees happened to be the chair of the gender studies concentration. That was a sight to see. But that was gone. We hired recently a couple of professors with tenure. That was our decision against the will of the faculty. And again, the denunciations continued in the press. We had a lot of lawfare. I've done depositions, FOIA requests constantly happening, lawsuits filed by different people, some of the people who were let go as well. It's gone on and on. So what? So what? We just did it. It's done. The president, we hired the new president, Richard Corcoran. He got $50 million out of the legislature. He's close with DeSantis. He was the head of the legislature in previous years and Secretary of Ed. So we got a lot of money. The grounds, which were so dumpy and trashy, those have all been cleaned up. Buildings were renovated. We had mold in the dorms. Buildings have been, we did deals with the airport right across the street to get more property. And the most important thing, 30 professors left in one way or another. producing, oh, no, you guys, this was a horrible brain drain in Florida. That was the word. We've hired 40 more people, and we had to hire more because in the last, this place, less than 700 students. It was smaller than an average Florida high school. And so we had last fall and this fall, the two largest entering classes ever. We're more than 900 students now. We'll break 1,000 next year or the year after. So money, demand is up. We've got the positive results that we can point to. And what just goes to show is that here we have a lever, right? You can come in, it only takes 3 or 4 people. You've got power. The trustees are like the trustees of a financial trust, responsible for the fiscal management of the money. Trustees are responsible for the academic management, including money, but also personnel issues, contracts that, faculty contracts that they make. We hire or fire the president. And so trustees have a lot of power. They are the final word on a whole lot of policies and practices, hiring and so forth. And here's the benefit. You only need 2 or 3 people in order to exert that influence. It doesn't cost any money. A reform-minded trustee costs the same as a rubber stamper trustee. And politically, in red states, and this gets to the reform prescription, in red states, this would be a political win for the governor. The governor, in about 16 states, red states, the governor appoints the trustee. These are made out of the governor's office. The governor can do this. Terms expire all the time. New people are appointed. Now, here is the problem with the red states. One, you've got in the middle of solid Republican territory, you've got these little hard left-wing enclaves. Georgia, go look at the School of Education in Georgia. It's as woke as white fragility and so forth as anything in California that you would find. Why do we have these ideologically partisan units that are totally contrary to the general population? Well, we know it's a long story, but we all know the story about that. But it can stop, right? The governor can appoint a few people to go in and persuade the other trustees kill DEI. That can be done instantly. This can be done immediately. You can do a lot of reestablishing, making a curriculum revision. I mean, we've got things in Florida now with the law about 5-year post-tenure reviews. Well, we can oversee that process. Okay, one of the things we did was the faculty are not going to conduct this review by themselves. We're going to get outside reviewers involved in this. That was our decision on that. So the second problem, apart from the ideologically left university inside a right conservative population, is the existing boards of trustees, right? What are most trustees now? It's been going on for decades. The University of Tennessee, okay? The University of Tennessee, red state. Who's on the board? The ex-head of Pepsi is on it. CEO of Tyson Foods. Another AutoZone, the head of AutoZone is on there. The head of Nashville Electric Service, the power company. Now these are good people, but they come out of the business world, the law world. The Commissioner of Agriculture is on the board as well. So some political people are on there as well. The problem is, these are good people for fiscal management, but when it comes to understanding and combating the ideological warfare that has taken place over the last 50 years and what to do about it, they're in way over their head. They don't know how. They don't know, in some ways, they don't really know why, all right? The focus, again, is on loyalty to the institution. That's fine. They don't want adversarial relationships with the faculty or the dean of diversity there on campus. So what does this mean? The governor of these states has to either, if he doesn't recognize the problem and face the challenge, a few of them I think won't need much persuasion. They just need some assistance, some support, know-how. But we have to put pressure on these red state governors to realize the importance. I mean, everyone already realizes that the left-wing schools are incubators for more progressivism in the rest of society. I mean, they're waking up. So now is a time. The trustee is the place, and as I said, it's free. You don't need any money for this. It's also, you only need a few people. You've got a tiny power center on these campuses, okay? And if you get some people, again, with experience in campus climate and academic practice, you got people who know what goes on behind closed doors, in the committee meetings, in the admissions offices, okay? Because it's not the public face of things. Other things go on in there. You've got to get people experienced in this who can, quote, tell the ex-CEO of Pepsi, listen, here's why we have to do this. And with the governor signaling his support for this kind of reform, then those other trustees will come on board. You get people who have some diplomacy, right, who aren't looking to get in headlines. Just do it behind closed doors if you can. Fine. And the the cachet is gone. A lot of the people, ordinary citizens in the state, they might have gone to the University of Tennessee. They still love the football team. You know, that's all fine. And they realize this is not the same place that you attended. And they want the governor to take it back to what it used to be. Now is the time to do that. October 7th makes it time to do this. All the woke stuff, the CRT stuff, the pride stuff, everywhere. You know, your kids went there and they come home at Thanksgiving with tales of LGBTQ orientation sessions that were highly coercive. Now is the time to do this. So I think forms of pressure put on red state governors. I have some ideas about that. You got some big donors who can, be enlisted on this. That could be something. I have some other ideas, but if other people have ideas, I'd like to hear them. So I will yield my time, sir. Okay, I'll be right back.